Hey guys, this is Hee-Haw with Dark Moon Cards and Games. I'm back with our second deck profile here since we've gotten back into the trading card game and gotten into the Battle Styles set. As soon as we got into Battle Styles, I've noticed a card that I had to figure out a way to make a deck with, and that would be Kingdra. You can see him highlighted here. Let's open this bad boy first. This is the second iteration of this deck. The first one had too many support Pokemon, Mew and a Rangaroo, and I think even the Mewtwo to let you get a supporter back. Don't have the bench space for that, unfortunately, in this one, so I tried to streamline it a little bit. Definitely go for consistency, and that was to achieve two things with this deck. The first thing is to get energy into the discard pile as quickly as possible for Wailord, and I'll show you the why on that in just a second. And the second thing is to evolve to Kingdra as fast as possible. And this is a kind of a 1-2 punch deck. Let's show you the why on Wailord. This is definitely a deck you want to go second with. Try to get 3 energies into this card pile and then attach to him. And then you can use Draw Up. That lets you reattach those 3, which sets up the Ocean Waves, which you can attack with in this, and I encourage you to. Ocean Waves does 120 for 3 coin flips, 120 for each head, so it can max out at 360. I think I've maybe had that happen once so far, and I don't have good luck with those things. But the main focus there is Draw Up, and the reason that you want to draw up on your first turn is to get those energies in play for Kingdra. And that's because of Kingdra's Deep Sea King ability. When your active Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, you may move any amount of water energy from that Pokemon to this Pokemon. And that plays right into Aqua Burst, does 40 damage for each water energy on it. The only limit there is how much water you have in the deck and how much you get into play. So you can be reaching up well over 300 in this one. If things go right, maxing out in the 440 range, I believe there. I got 11 waters in this one. To speed all of this along, obviously goal number 1 is to get that water energy into the discard pile. I went with the kind of standard ways to do that. First, I guess, to point out Capacious Bucket. That lets you get 2 into your hand so that you can discard them. 4 item cards there, so you can. That's pretty easy to access. First way to get them in is the Dene GX. He lets you discard your hand and draw 6. You got 2 of those guys in there and 2 Cherish Balls to get him. You can also use it to get Oricorio as well, which helps you kind of once the game gets going. But as far as discarding, you got the Dene, you got Quick Ball. You can search out any basic Pokemon, throw away water once you get it in your hand with that one. And then, of course, we got Research. I don't like the Research very often in this. Is why I cut this down to 2. That's because you're usually throwing away like rare candies and pieces of the Kingdra line. Kind of the main supporter here in this one is Milo. And Milo is not one you see in too many decks, but it works pretty well in this. You discard 2 cards from your hand and draw 2 cards for each card you discarded that way. So it's pretty simple, pretty basic way to get extra waters in. I did have Radiant Forest in as just one more way to do that, but I just changed it to Glenwood Tangle. Because once you get those 4 energies on Wailord, you want to put pressure on your opponent with them. And just because that is a coin flip attack, Glenwood Tangle can let you reflip and hopefully improve your results and maybe hit for more than 120 damage, although that happens pretty frequently. And like I said, from there, the next step is just to evolve to Kingdra. So we threw in all the pieces there. I originally only had a 4C, 4 Kingdra line in with the 4 rare candies, but very often just miss that combination. Sometimes it'd be 4 or 5 turns in before you can actually get to a Kingdra, and it is too late by then. You really need to get to him second turn, third turn at the latest. We got those. We got 3 communications to help you try to search the pieces out. Love to have more Skylas in here than that. I just put 1 for now. It seems to work okay. It just kind of helps you get that candy if you need it, or the communication if you need that piece. And that's kind of where Oricorio comes in play too. After a knockout, you can draw 3 cards. Kind of after you play a Milo, or whatever else, then you play that after that. That just maximizes the number of cards you can get into your hand in one turn. So it works pretty good there. But I've got 2 bosses in here, of course. 1 ordinary rod to try to get some pieces back in, or some water energies back in if you had to throw away, if you kind of went crazy and threw away too many early. Then 2 air balloons in here instead of playing switches. Not really a big need to switch. Like I said, you kind of want to make your Wailord stay active and just make somebody knock that out to kind of start that chain of water energies. You can put air balloon on Oricorio or Dedenne, just to give you somebody to send up on turns you're not sure what you're going to do. A couple Marnies in there as well. That's pretty much it. It's a pretty simple, straightforward deck. If you get to get Wailord on your second turn, or on your first turn, and get to a fast Kingdra, this deck just keeps on building steam and eventually does kind of start to roll over people. If somebody knocks out Wailord before you can get to a Kingdra, it falls apart on you pretty quick. Like I said, I've probably been about 50-50 with this one online, winning and losing. Too many decks out there that are really too consistent for this to win consistently against those. ADP is kind of the big obstacle out there, just because they can circumvent everything, just kill 2 Dedenne and beat you. So once that goes out of the format, maybe this is another deck to come back to. But either way, let's play a couple games with it and see what we can find. All right, looks like I'm playing Dr. Disposable again. I played him about 5 games ago with this cool, actually it's going to be the same deck as a Salamence spread deck. And we had a pretty fun game on that one. He narrowly defeated me. I was able to catch a Dedenne and actually take a 3-prize card knockout. Right at the end of that, I think I still had 2 to go, 2 prizes left. So, off to a pretty good start. I've got a active Wailord and a Horsey in play. Got to get some waters in the discard pile. Not really any more ways to do that. You got Bucket, but I've already played my professor's research. So we can draw up, it'll just get 1 attached. It gets 2. Not the start that you want, but it's not terrible. I've got to get a rare candy and something else going on my next turn. I did find myself without a supporter, which is not great. Telescopic Sight, you see that there. Salamence V are both pretty cool attackers. Well, there's my supporter. We'll get some waters with the bucket so we can use Milo. I'll get back to Salamence here in a second. Let's play these 2. No candy. I can get 1 step closer to Kingdra. That's a change I made here recently, playing that middle evolution. We got the 2 waters in there, so I'll attach to Seadra. Takes me a minute sometimes, and got draw up to get 2 more on. So he is charged. Didn't want to play the Stadium yet, and was kind of debating playing that Oricorio just because of Salamence's attacks. He can do some sniping. The Telescopic Sight does 30 extra, but it only does target GXs and Vs. And I did supply him a target by putting him down, but I think we'll be okay on that. We'll see. I didn't want to play my Stadium yet either, because obviously he would have bumped it that turn. I want to use it. I've got 2 Stadiums now. I think I manually evolved to Kingdra, so my waters will stay in play. It's kind of the same debate here whether you put the Wailord down. I'm going to put him down, but that does give him another target. Got my Stadium, and we will try Ocean Waves. Get 1. Retry it. Looks like it's 1. And sorry, Dr. Disposable, if you're watching. Not able to play and talk and do emojis at the same time. I'm too old for that kind of multitasking. Not trying to be rude, but it takes me too long to get into that menu and figure out how to do that stuff. So we're just going to play, but appreciate the attempted conversation there. Got a VMAX getting ready on the bench there as well. So there is the Sonic Double That's 40 to 2. That's actually 70 to 2 because those are my 2 Vs. Horsey Kingdra, that whole line is safe from everything from this deck except for Swoop Across, which Salamence V can do. He does 30 to everybody. We're going to play that Scala to get another Marnie. Just get a supporter for next turn. Let's try flipping again. And there's my 3 head 360, which I'll probably never get again. I didn't need that much, but it's still fun to get it when I get it. A little overkill on that first Salamence V. Love to be able to get it on this one because we could wrap the game up, but he's got 4 energies on there. He will be able to max wing, which does 240. I would think that's the route he's going to go here instead of trying to continue sniping. Yeah, takes out the Wailord, but I do get to move my waters down to Kingdra. I think we'll go ahead and send him up. I could send up another Wailord and just try to keep compiling waters. But I got a lot of damage here, and there's only 4 prizes left, so I got to be careful I don't get taken out. If it takes out 2 Vs, that's the game. Getting to Milo again. Gonna keep this 1 quick ball so I can use it to get to Dene, which I won't need to do because there's the Dene. Rare Candy to the other Kingdra. That makes this a lot more comfortable situation because now my water is safe for another turn. I don't have enough to knock him out. He can, looks like he can snipe and take out my Oricorio. Or he can just kill this Kingdra. Might as well attach to the active Kingdra because at this point I've got 2 in play, so it doesn't do any good to spread them around. They'll be saved to the next Kingdra. Get this air balloon. Just gonna save it. It's at 240, unless he can. I guess he can retreat here and get out of reach, unless I draw bosses or something, or or he could Cheryl and heal it all off. I do remember that from the first one. That's a nice thing about those 1 energy snipe attacks is it can use Cheryl. I think it definitely improves the Salamence V deck. Guess we're going to lose Oricorio, and we get 70 on the Dene. That gets him down to 2. I'm in danger of, especially with the Dene and play out bosses, will get it for him. Ooh, Milo, those 2. Just keep on getting Milos. It seems like I got 12 Milos in this one. Well, Aqua Burst for 280 there. 1 energy away. Guess he gets Cheryl again, but doesn't have Cheryl, doesn't have bosses. I think we've got this one. No matter what he does here, if he knocks out... I don't think he can knock out the Kingdra. Yeah, I'm getting the well played, I guess. Just couldn't get it. Kind of how the last game was. Last game was kind of like this, kind of close. Oh, Aqua Burst again and wrapped us up. So, another fun game with that. Both of them were fun, just didn't really want to just show games against Salamence. I got one more game to show you. This was against a ADP deck. Against an opponent that took some very long turns. So, we're going to fast forward to kind of the middle point of the match. Just what you've missed so far is he started with a Melodic Bee, which I guess is just maybe a counter to some fire decks, which I knocked out, and then hit a Zacian V for only 120 with the Wailord, and then he knocked out the Wailord V. Still at that point had not even got an Altered Creation off. And that's basically all that has occurred, although that took about 15 minutes. And I'm not trying to call anyone out for slow play, but just to be sure of that, his ID has been Briscoed. So I've got 6 energies here on Kingdra. I think we're going to bench this Wailord. We've got 3 in the discard pile. I'm going to go ahead and retreat and draw up and get those into play because I can't one-hit anything with my Kingdra. If I had a second Kingdra in play, I'd send him up. But I can get it on this next turn with the Scala and the Rare Candy, obviously. But let's see if the Horsey lives long enough. Again, no altered creation in effect here, so really no benefit to just take out a horsey for 2. Oh, actually, I guess there is a benefit really to that. You could take out a horsey and a Dedenne and end this. But, let's see. Still just the 2 metals on the ADP sitting back there. Not really in a position unless, well, there's a water. I think off of forest. Kind of odd situation to have to alter creation in the middle of a game. It's really what you want to lead with. I guess still could, but it's pretty risky to send him up to do that. I don't have my stadium. It's something else I could grab with Skyla, but it's potential. It's not very likely that I could knock out ADP in one shot, but I think chances of that without Glenwood Tangle in are pretty low. Thinking, yeah, we'll just take the ultimate ray shot for 150, and I'm sure he's going to charge the other ADP. Although the way this game has gone, I'm not sure that anything is sure. Don't know if it's just a deliberate opponent or somebody maybe still learning ADP a little bit. Seen a few odd plays, and it may just be what's been prized. Well, there's Glenwood. Let's get my candy first. Gonna get that second Kingdra in, because then I've got 10 water energies in play. That's 400 damage. So I think we're kind of in cruise control. And 3 tails. There's 2 for 240. They can take out this Wailord and take, well, still just, I'm so in such a mindset of ADP being able to take that extra prize. It's hard to not be in that mindset playing against this. But we shall patiently wait and see. Another 150, obviously, we'll take it out from the other ADP. Got the air balloon on ADP. I'm just gonna keep driving with that one, which is interesting. And we get our 4 more energies to drop down to this the loaded up Kingdra. Love to get access to a boss right here, because then I could just catch that fresh ADP and knock it out, and then be pretty safe to knock out whatever's left at that point. I think I'm pretty much safe to knock out whatever's on the board, no matter whether it's damaged or fresh or not at this point. I got 10 water. There's only 1 water left in the deck somewhere, or in the prizes. There's the boss. We'll stick with that plan. Let's just knock out this fresh ADP. There's 400. Covers that one. We'll take 3 there. And there's always at the mercy of a boss's herself here. Dedenne and Oricorio in particular. Otherwise, there's nothing they could take and close the game out. The altered creation, and of course they could just knock out anything. But there's the Marnie, so I am safe from bosses. So pretty much whatever happens here, I'm going to shuffle 10 water energies down to my other Kingdra, or come back up with this one if he tries to. Well, he can't catch anything. I guess unless they played catcher, great catcher, maybe he could catch it to Dedenne. Here's a quick ball, probably to get Dedenne or Crobat dig a little bit. Now some of these lists still play a great catcher. There's another Zacian. Not adding anything to the field at this point unless, well, who knows. There's 230 knockout Kingdra. We will shove all 10 of these waters down to the next Kingdra. It would be awesome to just draw 1 more water if it's in our deck here. Should have looked on that last hand before the Marnie, Capacious Bucket. There goes that. We'll send up Kingdra and close this one out. There's the bucket. Might as well take a look. Why not? Been a long time waiting. There it is. There is all 11 on a Kingdra and a 440 damage knockout. Wouldn't have showed all that, but I had to wait a long time to get there. So, well, there's a pretty good look at the deck. I think that pretty much shows what it can do. Like I said earlier, it is a 1-2 punch, and you get to see both punches. That's about all she blows there. Definitely say after playing multiple spread decks, you definitely want to add the Mew back in. It shouldn't be hard to just make room for that one card. And who knows, perhaps a single prize version of this with Frostmoth is maybe the way to go, and just make it to a slower build, but one that does keep building on top of itself. I would definitely say that is worth a try, but I had to try this way out with Wailord first because Wailord is awesome and Kingdra is awesome. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed a look at another unique deck. Please help us out and subscribe and like the video if you will. This has been Hee-Haw with Dark Moon Cards and Games. Be not afraid. Later.